Hello, everybody. Boy, oh boy, do I have some drama for you this morning. So, had quite a bombshell story drop last night on Herschel Walker, and it's only gotten more juicy since this came out. So, this is in the Daily Beast. They say, pro-life Herschel Walker paid for girlfriend's abortion. The woman has receipts and a get-well card, she says the football star, now a Senate candidate, sent her. So, we're going to go through this story here. And then I also have Herschel Walker's son has now turned on him very publicly and very aggressively. And you have what looks like the total and utter implosion of the Walker campaign. Now, I'll talk about whether or not I think it actually is the implosion of the Walker campaign, but it certainly has the feel of that right now as I talk to you. So they say the following: Herschel Walker, the football legend now running for Senate in Georgia, says he wants to completely ban abortion, likening it to murder, and claiming there should be no exception for rape, incest, or the life of the mother. Jesus, this is like as extreme as it gets, even to save the life of the mother? Wow. But the Republican candidate has supported at least one exception for himself. A woman who asked not to be identified out of privacy concerns told the Daily Beast that after she and Walker conceived a child while they were dating in 2009, so this is, honestly, 2009 is later than what I expected. I saw the headlines, I didn't read the story yet. I thought it would probably be like 1998 or some shit. 2009, wow. He urged her to get an abortion. The woman said she had the procedure and that Walker reimbursed her for it. She supported these claims with a $575 receipt from the abortion clinic, a get well card from Walker, and a bank deposit receipt that included an image of a signed $700 personal check from Walker. Wow. Now, I will say, a little bit of a twist in the story here. The get well card thing is like, that is kind of thoughtful, not going to lie. He's like, please go get an abortion, but then he sends her a get well card? That's, wow, okay. The woman said there was a $125 difference because she ballparked the cost of an abortion after Googling the procedure and added on expenses such as travel and recovery costs. Additionally, the Daily Beast independently corroborated details of the woman's claims with a close friend she told at the time and who, according to the woman and the friend, took care of her in the days after the procedure. The woman said Walker, who was not married at the time, told her it would be more convenient to terminate the pregnancy, saying it was, quote, not the right time for him to have a child. It was a feeling she shared, but what she didn't know was that Walker had an out-of-wedlock child with another woman earlier that same year. Asked if Walker expressed regret for the decision, the woman said Walker never had. Asked why she came forward, the woman pointed to Walker's hardline anti-abortion position. Quote, I just can't with the hypocrisy anymore, she said. We all deserve better. After the Daily Beast reached out to the Walker campaign for comment, Robert Ingram, a lawyer representing both the campaign and Walker in his personal capacity, responded, quote, this is a false story, Ingram said in a phone call, adding that he based the conclusion on anonymous sources. All you want to do is run with stories to target black conservatives, he said. You focus on black conservatives. Ingram asked the Daily Beast to disclose the identity of the woman, but we declined. After the story published, Walker released a statement in which he called the story a flat-out lie and said he denied it in the strongest possible terms. All right, so I'm going to get to his response after we're done reading this article. I'll read you the whole response. It's not too long. Meanwhile, Herschel's adult son, Christian Walker, lashed out on Twitter in defense of the Daily Beast against his father. Okay, I'm also going to get to all this stuff. I have a video that just dropped of Christian Walker, so we're going to skip that part as well. According to the $575 receipt, the abortion took place on September 12, 2009, and according to the Bank of America deposit receipt, Walker wrote the woman a check for $700 on September 17, 2009. The check was deposited 2 days later. The woman, who also provided proof of her romantic relationship with Walker, told the Daily Beast that he mailed her the check inside the Get Well card. The front of the card features a drawing of a steaming cup of tea and reads, rest, relax. The message continues on the inside of the card, recover. The card is signed, pray you are feeling better, with an H in Walker's distinctive autograph flourish. So, this is the thing that people are saying are like, sort of like pound the gavel, he definitely did it, is even his son is like, yep, that's his handwriting. That's his handwriting. The card is signed, pray you are feeling better, with an H in Walker's distinctive autograph flourish. The woman, a registered Democrat who still communicates with Walker, said he did not tell her about his plan to run for Senate before his announcement in August 2021. Since then, however, one of Walker's top surrogates has asked her repeatedly if she would be willing to vouch for his character, reaching out as recently as this August. In a 40-minute phone call this June about one of his out-of-wedlock children, the Daily Beast pressed Walker repeatedly on whether he had ever knowingly had an abortion with any of his past partners. After dodging the question multiple times, he ultimately said he had not. Weeks later, a Democratic activist pretending to be a Walker supporter posed the same question at a campaign event, asking the NFL star whether he had ever funded or caused somebody to have an abortion. No, Walker replied twice, which the activist recorded on a video. Walker is running in one of the most important races in the country. Okay, blah, blah, blah. You guys get the rest of this. It's a pretty long article. Okay. We're going to get to the drama now, though, because Christian ain't having any of it. Christian is one of Walker's sons. He is not having any of it. So here's Herschel Walker's response regarding the latest Democrat attack. This is a flat-out lie, and I deny this in the strongest possible terms. This is another repugnant hatchet job from a Democrat activist disguised as a reporter who has obsessively attacked my family and tried to tear me down since this race started. He's harassed friends of mine, asking if I fathered their children. He's called my children secret because I didn't want to use them as campaign props in a political campaign. Now, they're using an anonymous source to further slander me. They will do anything to hold on to power. It's disgusting gutter politics. I'm not taking this anymore. I plan to sue the Daily Beast for this defamatory lie. It will be filed tomorrow morning. Well, bad news for Herschel. There's no way that a lawsuit is going to work for him. It's not possible. They have evidence, they have receipts, and it'll only further verify the narrative that you indeed had this abortion. So I don't know why you would go this road, but I guess brazen lying is what he's comfortable doing. And by the way, he did lie about having those kids. He did lie about it. He's oh no, I was just trying to hide them from the public spotlight. Nonsense. You were lying about them. Everybody knows you were lying about them. So here's a montage of Walker's thoughts on abortion.
Warrior for God. And God told me thou shalt not kill. Remember, my guy I'm running against said a woman can kill her baby. That's what he said.
He's also said if a baby survived an abortion, he voted to deny that baby medical care. And how extreme can that be? And he's a pastor. And I said, thou shalt not kill. He's seemed to be relish on.
So you can see here, he repeatedly compares abortion to murder, to outright murder. That's his belief system. Zero exceptions, not for rape, not for incest, not for life of the mother. It's murder. And he funded an abortion.
Woman killing her baby. He's a pastor. So that's the reason.
Ending most abortions after 15 weeks. What's your stance on that?
I believe in life. I'm a Christian. I believe in life. And it is strange that my opponent, and no one is talking about that, he seemed to be really excited about a woman killing her baby. Well, what is his term? It's not right to have the doctor and the patient and the government in the same room. And I said, do you not realize that there's a baby in that room too?
For life, and I'm not going to apologize for it. And, and I think it should be in the States. But if I had to vote right now, it'll be yes.
Strange, because I say I'm a Christian. Right now, you say you're a Christian. And they said, Herschel, what do you think of? They asked me all these questions. I'm like, did I not say I'm a Christian? That means you're supposed to be pro-life. I thought you're supposed to be pro-life.
By the way, that's not even true. There's parts of the Bible that prescribe abortion if your wife cheats on you. We've talked about this before, but there's a part of the Bible where they say your wife should drink bitter water if she cheats on you. And the whole idea is you should have an abortion if your wife cheated on you and conceived with another man. So it's not like the things that they assume are true are not even true.
And I believe in from the womb to the tomb. Because this is what's so interesting. You never know who's that baby's going to be.
Yeah, well, according to your own standard, you're a murderer. So, should you get locked up for 20 years, 30 years? Is that what should happen? You think that makes sense, Herschel? Okay, so now the fun begins. Herschel Walker's son, Christian, went OD off on him. Every family member of Herschel Walker asked him not to run for office because we all knew some of his past. Every single one. He decided to give us the middle finger and air out all of his dirty laundry in public while simultaneously lying about it. I'm done. So clearly, Christian is not buying the weak denial of Herschel. He believes the Daily Beast. He sees the receipts. He says, hey, that's his handwriting. So he's fed up. I know my mom and I would really appreciate if my father Herschel Walker stopped lying and making a mockery of us. You're not a family man when you left us to bang a bunch of women, threatened to kill us, and had us move over 6 times in 6 months, running from your violence. Jesus Christ. So apparently he was also massively abusive, according to Christian. I don't care about someone who has a bad past and takes accountability, but how dare you lie and act as though you're some moral Christian, upright man. You've lived a life of destroying other people's lives. How dare you? Jesus Christ, man. Straight up dropping nukes on him. Here's another one. This one apparently he deleted. So Herschel Walker said, I love my son no matter what. He was trying to take the high road when it comes to Christian with everything he was saying. Christian responds, you have 4 kids that we know of, and you weren't in the house raising one of them. You were out cheating and lying. If you loved your kids, you'd be raising them instead of running for a Senate race to boost your ego. Wow. Holy shit. Now, he's not done yet either. So, he just released this video. I've stayed silent for nearly 2 years, as my whole life has been lied about publicly. I did one campaign event, then said I didn't want involvement. He's talking about, I think he launched his dad's campaign or whatever, and I think Trump may have been there, something like that. So there's videos from that day and like pictures of him and Herschel hugging, and they're all happy and all that stuff, and people are using it. The right is using that to show Christian like, oh yeah, what changed? And, you know, Christian's firing back. Don't you dare test my authenticity. Here's the full story. Now, by the way, I should tell you about Christian. I don't know how many of you know this. Probably a decent number of you do. But he's sort of like a political commentator, and he's very right-wing. He's like, his niche is sort of like the anti-gay gay guy. The gay guy who's not too fond of the gay community. So he's very, very right-wing in his own regard. It's funny, he's like flamboyantly gay and right-wing. So he's carved a little niche for himself. So here's the video of him absolutely going after his dad and responding to the right. And because they're basically telling him, like, shut up, we're going to lose Georgia. How dare you, like, take the side against Herschel?
I stayed silent as the atrocities committed against my mom were downplayed. I stayed silent when it came out that my father, Herschel Walker, had all these random kids across the country, none of whom he raised. And you know my favorite issue to talk about is father absence. Surprise, because it affected me. That's why I talk about it all the time.
So, look, this is interesting because he actually cares about this issue, right? Like, this isn't just posturing for right-wing credibility. This is like, no, he cares about, fatherless homes because he grew up in a fatherless home and he knows it sucks. And so he's like, made that a centerpiece of his politics. I mean, you could tell he believes it, shit, right? Either that or he's the best actor in the world.
Affected me. Family values, people. He has 4 kids, 4 different women, wasn't in the house raising one of them. He was out having sex with other women. Do you care about family values?
No, they don't. No, they don't, Christian. No, they don't. Sorry to, burst your bubble here. I don't know if you thought, people on the right were going to be principled and say, no, I'd take a stand against what Herschel Walker is doing here. And look, I actually, there is part of me that understands where they're coming from, because this is how they view it. Let me explain to you how they view it. They say, look, it ultimately doesn't matter what happened in Herschel Walker's personal life. I don't care he had 4 different kids with 4 different women. I don't care he funded an abortion. There's nothing he could do that would make me lose support for him. Because fundamentally, when he gets to Washington, D.C., regardless of what happened in his personal life, he is going to vote the way I want him to vote. So in other words, if Herschel Walker gets to the Senate and there is a floor vote on a national abortion ban, he's a reliable yes, vote for them on that. He would say, yeah, ban abortion. He doesn't. Now, he would be a hypocrite, of course, because, he's funded abortions. But he doesn't care, because he feels like, well, I took care of what I needed to take care of, but am I going to ban it for other people? Yeah, I'll ban it for other people. So, fundamentally, if their main concern is the voting record, like, hey, are you going to vote to cut taxes on the rich? Are you going to vote to deregulate the marketplace and serve Wall Street and serve the military-industrial complex? Are you going to vote in an anti-gay way? Are you going to vote in an anti-abortion way? As long as Herschel Walker checks those boxes, and he does, then people on the right simply don't care about the personal failings, because they'll overlook the personal failings, because they'd rather have somebody with extreme personal failings who votes their way, as opposed to somebody like Warnock, who might be a totally upstanding citizen with nothing in his private life, but Warnock, of course, would vote in a pro-choice fashion. Warnock, of course, would vote in a pro-gay fashion. Warnock, of course, is in favor of regulating the marketplace and raising taxes on the rich and all those things. So that's where they're coming from. Now, Christian here, in a sense, I do feel for him, though, right? Because he believes that you absolutely need to live your values to be a good person, to be a reasonable person, to be, to be not a total hypocrite, to be not a fraud. You have to live your values. So if you're going to talk like, I'm in favor of strong nuclear families, well, then you can't abandon your 4 kids. If you're going to talk like I'm anti-abortion, you can't literally fund an abortion, which you say, according to your own philosophy, is fucking murder. Are you a murderer? So I feel for him, because he's like, what the fuck? I actually believe in these things. Why does everybody else around me not believe in them? And, why is everybody not equally mad at my dad for what he did here? And then also add the personal angle where he was fucking abused and threatened, and his parents were, his mom, who I'm sure he loves and adores, and, I'm sure she didn't do anything wrong, and this asshole made her life a living hell, and so now he's like, fuck you, like, sort of own up to your shit. Own up to it. Like, you had the abortion, stop fucking lying about it. So he appears like he's sick of the lies and sick of the hypocrisy.
I was silent lie after lie after lie. The abortion card drops yesterday. It's literally his handwriting in the card. They say they have receipts, whatever. He gets on Twitter. He lies about it. Okay, I'm done. Done. Everything has been a lie. And so for the right to say I'm being suspicious for saying, hey, I'm done with the lies, when you all have been calling me saying, is this true about your dad? Gosh, we're not going to win Georgia, this candidate, all. That's been you. You have no idea what I've been through in my life. You have no idea what me and my mom have survived. We could have ended this on day 1. We haven't. I haven't told any stories. I'm just saying, don't lie. Don't lie on my mom. Don't lie on me. Don't lie on the lives you've destroyed and act like you're some moral family man. Y'all should care about that, conservatives. And then for people on the left to act as though I'm responsible for all of the things that he has done. I
don't know who's saying that, though. I'm certainly not saying that. I haven't seen anybody say that.
Talked about Father Epps. I've talked all these issues because they've been close to me. Because they matter to me, because I went through it. That's why I've talked about it. So when you say, well, talk about your dad, but I'm saying this behavior is atrocious. Don't come for me. You don't have to like my politics. You don't have to like me. You don't have to. I'm just saying I'm done with the lies. We were told at the beginning of this, he was going to get ahead of his past, hold himself accountable, all of these different things, and that would have been fine. Go ahead. He didn't do any of that.
That's interesting. That's interesting. So that's what the word was behind the scenes. Like, yeah, he's going to bring everything. He's going to air his own dirty laundry. He's going to do the M&M trick, right? Like, say, here are all the things against me that you need to know, and I'm going to tell you first. I'm going to be upfront about it, and that's going to, like, defang these attacks. Yeah, I had 4 kids. He might have more than 4 kids. Who the fuck knows? Yeah, I have 4 kids. Yeah, it's 4 different women. Yeah, I was not a good father. Yeah, I paid for an abortion. I wouldn't be surprised if he paid for multiple fucking abortions, right? But this is all my dirty laundry. This is all the stuff. But I am a reformed man. I found Jesus. I found God. I found Republican politics. I'm all about all the things that everybody in the base cares about. I'm going to fight for these things. I think if he did that, I do think Christian would have been not doing this, right? Not doing this. And I don't deny he's probably got stories out the wazoo, son, about what went on with Herschel Walker. And what Herschel did to his mom, what Herschel did to him. So, man, This is fucking intense, huh? Let's see how much is left of this.
Everything's been a lie. Everything's been downplayed. Everything's been cutting corners. The whole thing. And whose expense is that at? Me, my mom, as we're chased down by the media, we're terrorized, all these different things. People are questioning my authenticity. I'm done. Don't lie. Don't put this on me. This is a candidate issue, not a me issue. I wouldn't have spoken out if there weren't all these lies every day.
Woo! Goddamn. So yeah, I mean, look, Herschel Walker's a hypocrite. Herschel Walker's a liar. Herschel Walker doesn't live his values. The people on the right don't care. Because again, just like how they all vote, all the evangelical Christians voted for Trump, even though he's the least Christian person on the fucking planet. Even though he had like 70 different fucking affairs and there's all these accusations of sexual harassment and sexual assault and rape and whatever, like, they don't care. Because again, at the end of the day, if you are a reliable vote for an anti-gay agenda, a pro-life agenda, a tax cuts for the rich agenda, a deregulation agenda, like, if you're socially conservative, that's all they care about, right? So they'll overlook whatever the fuck. Again, for Christian, I do feel kind of bad because he seems like he wants people to live their values, right? But then there is also kind of a fundamental contradiction at his heart, too, because he's the gay guy, the flamboyantly gay guy who's anti-gay, so it's like, well, wait, which is it? Are you comfortable with gayness, and is it all right, and is that all fine and dandy, or is it like, hey, fuck the gay community, I don't like them, whatever. So, but anyway, I digress from attacking him here, because that's not the point of this. The point is, they don't care. Now, but ultimately, will this tank Herschel Walker? The answer is, I don't know, and nobody knows, and anybody who says they knows is fucking lying to you, because we are sort of in a post-scandal era, where we saw with Donald Trump. What's been proven is, if you respond to a scandal by puffing your chest out and saying, fuck off, I don't care, and bulldozing ahead, you can weather a scandal. That works sometimes. Doesn't work all the time, but it works sometimes. Now, there's a case that people are bringing up in relation to Herschel Walker here. There's a Republican congressman by the name of Scott Desjardins, and I think he was from Louisiana, but I'm not 100% sure. He was a doctor, and he, I think, had affairs with multiple patients, and he funded, like, a bunch of abortions. He got them pregnant, funded a bunch of abortions. He, of course, was a pro-life candidate as well. All this stuff came out. So Scott Desjardins still ended up winning. Now, here's the difference, though. He was in, like, a Republican plus 37 district. And then when he hung on and won after the scandal, he only won by like less than 1 percentage point. So it went from being a plus 37 Republican district to a plus 1 district. Because because that scandal did hurt Scott Desjardins. So he had the affair, he had the abortions, it hurt him, but he still won. In the case of Herschel Walker versus Warnock, it's already a dead 50-50 tied race. It is. So in theory, this should make it so that, Warnock opens up a 3-point lead, 4-point lead, whatever the fuck, right? But we don't know. That's yet to be seen. And, I'm not of the mindset anymore that, like, when a scandal happens, it necessitates, the opponent does better. It might be the case. It could even probably be the case, but you can't pound the gavel on that yet, right? Because, again, this particular kind of scandal, I don't think the right cares about. Now, the question is, I guess, more importantly, well, what about, like, the moderate right-leaning voters, or just the moderate voters? Well, yeah, they might care. I don't know. But it's certainly not a good thing for Herschel Walker, but I wouldn't say he's down and out. I'd say maybe it hurts, but he's not necessarily down and out yet. So, but this is the October surprise, baby. I'm sure Daily Beast was sitting on this story for a while. So, look, it's still a race. As the famous saying goes, you got to run through the tape if you're Raphael Warnock. But man, this is some juicy stuff here, if I don't say so myself. So Christian Walker is trying to flat out nuke his dad's campaign now, and I'm definitely here for it.